classy cabanas. I wish I could have heard you in the opera house.
From Bindle's Opera House in the village to Broadway is a great step, but I tried to take it, my ambitions fired. When 16 years of age, seeing East Lynne played here in the village by Ralph Barrett, the coming romantic actor, enthralled my soul. True, I trailed back home a broken failure when Ralph disappeared in New York, leaving me alone in the city. But life broke him also. In all this place of silence, there are no kindred spirits. How I wish Deuce could stand amid the pathos of these quiet fields and read these words.
I was a peasant girl from Germany. Bright-eyed, rosy, happy and strong. And the first place I worked was at Thomas Green's. On a summer's day, when she was away, he stole into the kitchen, took me right in his arms, and kissed me on my throat. I then, turning my head, neither of us seemed to know what happened. I cried for what would become of me. And I cried and cried as my secret began to show. One day, Mrs. Green said she understood and would make no trouble for me, and, being childless, would adopt it. So she hid in the house and sent out rumors as if it were going to happen to her. All went well. The child was born. They were so kind to me. Later, I married Gus Wortman. In years past, but at political rallies, as the sitters-by thought I was crying at the eloquence of Hamilton Green. That's not it. I wanted to say, that's my son. That's my son.
Judge Wiley advised me to divorce him for the sake of the children. Judge Somners advised him the same. So we stuck to the end of the path. But 2 of the children thought he was right, and 2 of the children thought that I was right. And the 2 that sided with him blamed me, and the 2 that sided with me blamed him. And all were torn with the guilt of judging and tortured in soul, for they could not admire equally him and me. Now every gardener knows that plants that grow in cellars are twisted and yellow and weak. And no mother would let her baby suck diseased milk from her breast. Yet preachers and judges advise the raising of souls where there is no sunlight, but only twilight, where there is no warmth, but only dampness and cold. Preachers and judges.
I was only 8 years old. And before I grew up and knew what it meant, I had no words for it. Except that I was frightened and told my mother. And that my father got a pistol and would have killed Charlie, who was a big boy, 15 years old. Except for his mother. Nevertheless, the story clung to me. But the man I married, a widower of 35, was a newcomer and had never heard it. Oh, till 2 years after we were married. Then he considered himself cheated. And the village agreed that I was not really a virgin. Well, he deserted me. And I died the following winter.
I have studied many times the marble which was chiseled for me. A boat with a furled sail at rest in a harbor. In truth, the picture's not my destination, but my life. For love was offered me, and I shrank from its disillusionment. Sorry knocked at my door, but I was afraid. Ambition called to me, but I dreaded the chances. Yet all the while, I hungered for meaning in my life. And now I know that we must lift the sail and catch the winds of destiny, wherever they drive the boat. To put meaning in one's life may end in madness. But life without meaning is the torture of restlessness and vague desire. It is a boat longing for the sea and yet afraid.
Henry got me with child, knowing I could not bring forth life without losing my own. Therefore, I entered the portals of dust in my youth. Traveler, it is believed in the village where I lived that Henry loved me with a husband's love. But I proclaim from the dust that he slew me to gratify his hatred.
Weep not. I am not here under this pine tree. The balmy air of spring whispers through the sweet grass. The stars sparkle. The whippoorwill calls. But thou grievest while my soul lies rapturous in the blessed nirvana of eternal light. Go. To the good heart that is my husband who broods over what he calls our guilty love. Tell him that my love for you, no less than my love for him, wrought out my destiny. And that through the flesh, I won spirit, through spirit peace. There is no marriage in heaven, but there is love.
Well, don't you see? This was the way of it. We bought the land with what he inherited, and his brothers and sisters accused him of poisoning his father's mind against the rest of them. We never had any peace with our treasure. The Marine took the cattle, and the crops failed, and the lightning struck the granary. So we mortgaged the farm to keep it going, and he grew silent and was worried all the time. Then some of the neighbors refused to speak to us. They took sides with his brothers and sisters. And I had no place to turn, as one may say to himself at an earlier time of life, that so-and-so is my friend, or I can check this off with a little trip to Decatur. Then the dreadfulest smells infested the rooms. So I set fire to the beds, and the old witch house went up on a roar of flame. As I danced in the yard with waving arms, while he wept like a freezing steer.
Your red blossoms amid green leaves are drooping. Beautiful geranium. But you do not ask for water, so you cannot speak. You do not need to speak. Everyone knows you're dying of thirst, but no one brings water. Just pass on saying, look, the geranium wants water. And I, who had happiness to share, and longed to share your happiness. I who loved you, Spoon River, and craved for your love, withered before your eyes, Spoon River. Thirsty. Voiceless from chasteness of soul to ask you for love. You who knew and saw me perish before you. Like this geranium, which someone had planted over me and left to die.
Yes. Here I lie close to a stunted rosebush, in a forgotten place near the fence where the thickets from Seaver's Woods have crept over growing sparsely. And you are a leader in New York, the wife of a noted millionaire, a name in the society columns, beautiful, admired, magnified perhaps by the mirage of distance. You have succeeded, and I have failed in the eyes of the world. You are alive, and I am dead. Yet I know that I vanquished your spirit. And I know, lying here far from you, unheard of among your great friends in the brilliant world where you move, I am really the unconquerable power over your life that robs it of complete triumph.